welcome back to the allotment. It's Saturday the 1st of May, although it still feels cold and April-y. So we've come down the allotment. We've got some jobs to do here today and a few jobs to do at home to sow a few things and start planting a few bits. So I'm going to show you what we're doing here. I've brought down some kale plants I've been growing at home, and I've brought down a load of grass clippings from home and the rabbits' hay and stuff to put in the compost. So I'll tip that out in the compost. We need to water. It's quite dry. It hasn't rained at all this week, although it's supposed to rain this afternoon, but I think they need a water as well anyway, so we'll do that. So I'm going to empty the compost, I'm going to water, and then I'll show you the kale we've got to put in. So I've got this big bag of, I mowed the lawn this morning, so I've got grass clippings, a load of rhubarb. We made a rhubarb curry in the week, so we've got a load of rhubarb leaves and a load of our rabbits' hay and poop. That can all go in the compost. I put a load of grass in there last week as well. I'll give it a good turn over again another day when I come down with a spade. We finished all the watering, so I've given it a good water and everything. It's all very dry. But yeah, hopefully that will keep it going for a few days. And I've got the kale. So here's the tray of kale we've got. So we've got the dwarf green curled on this side, and we've got this one. I don't know how to say this one. It's a red kale. So what I'm going to do, I've got this bed. This is the last bed that hasn't got anything in at the moment. So I've got this bed. So I'm going to plant, I think, 3 across. I'll probably put 9 in here, 9 or 12. I'll do 9 for now, I think. They need to be about 40 centimetres apart. So yeah, I'll put 9 in here. As you can see, we've got plenty, so if they don't do well, we can always plant some more. And I've got some water ready to water them in. So I'll pop them in, and then we'll show you those in the bed. I've added our signs like the other beds. So I've put one on this end. So this is the green, dwarf green curled, and I've put 6 of those in, 2 rows, because I think we're probably more likely to eat the green kale. So that's those, and then the other end, I'll come round. I'll put the sign on this end, and we've just got these 3 little seedlings. Yeah, so that's the kale bed. We'll see how they go. I might put a bit of netting over it if I can find a bit. I think I've got some tucked away somewhere. Yeah, so that's the kale in. So we've got kale in that bed. We've got main crop potatoes in those 2, second early, first early in the far ones. So they're all in. There's 9 in each of those. 9 potatoes in each of those. 9 there. Sorting out the wood for that this week, hopefully, and I'll build that at home, that bed at home, before I bring it down. It's still the nights, the weather keeps saying it's going to get sort of 5-6 degrees at night, and then when it gets to the day it keeps dropping to 1, so it's still a bit hit and miss, still a bit cold really. So I don't want to rush too much to get stuff in. These 2 beds at the end, our garlic's doing really well, really pleased with that. It's still growing really nicely. And hopefully with a bit of water they'll keep going. That's the garlic. The beans are growing up. I think these were a dwarf broad bean, so they're not going to get massive. I do need to get this weed out. I need to bring my gloves down to do that. But yeah, they're doing okay. Next to, we've got the first of the red onions. Again, they've sort of put a little bit of a sprint on. They're sort of thickening up. Peas, there's a couple of peas come up, not a lot. I might start some at home. See, and then the last 2 beds we've got the red onions. So again, they've sort of got a bit bigger, some of them. This one at the end is quite nice and big. Look, sort of feel, yeah, you can't be. So you sort of feel down there. Yeah, so we've done all our watering, planted our kale, done our little jobs. So we're going to go home and we're going to plant some 2 courgette plants at home, maybe some potatoes, and I've got lots of seeds to sow. I want to start doing our butternut squash, our pumpkin. I'm going to do some more sweet corn because a couple of them didn't really grow, so I'm going to get some more of that in. Yeah, but I'll show you that when we get home. I've been taking our seedlings out each day this week into the garden just to harden them off. So these are the ones that are sort of bigger, getting a bit closer to going out. We've got our courgettes and a couple of tomatoes in there. So today I'm going to plant 2 of these at home, in one of the beds at home, and just see how they get on. I've got a few spares, so it's not a problem if we lose them. And then I'll see how they get on before I plant any more out. I've got some sweet corn. There's more inside. It's a little bit smaller. Got more tomatoes, lots of tomatoes. Got our sweet peas. I'm going to put those in a pot somewhere. But I'll probably keep them in another week or so because it's still pretty chilly. And I've got a load of lettuce that will go out. So I've had a little bit of a rethink on what we're going to do at home in the beds. Our tomatoes are doing really well, our seedlings. So what I'm going to do, I was going to have this bed of carrots, but I'm actually going to do the first bed of cherry tomatoes, second bed of the bigger tomatoes. So we've got probably do about 6 in each, I think, in each bed. Yeah, so I'm going to have 2 beds of tomatoes, and I might put some in some big pots elsewhere in the garden. And then bed 3, we're going to have these 2 courgette plants. So I've just put the pots on top at the moment to see where they're going to go, and I'm going to plant them in a second. Bed 4, we're going to put potatoes in. So I've got some, I think, second earlies I'm going to put in there to go along with the ones at the allotment. These leeks have been in here since last year, and they're doing really well actually. They're still growing quite a bit. So I'm semi-tempted to leave those in there and just put potatoes in the rest for now. Not sure. And in these beds, at the moment, we've got some beetroot and a few carrots in here. I might make this the sort of salad bed, just do a few rows of each sort of thing, different bits and pieces. And then this last bed, we've got sunflowers in here. So we've got about 6 rows of 3 sunflowers, and as they grow up, I'm going to fill this bed right to the top with compost soil, just so they got a good foundation. But I'll let them grow up a little bit first. So yeah, they'll be really pretty at the end of the garden. Really nice to look at.
And I can't wait to see all the sunflowers.
Yeah. So for today's job at home, I'm going to do plant these 2 courgette plants, and we'll see how they get on. They've been out every day this week, hardening off, so hopefully they'll be okay. They're looking nice and green and happy.
Yeah.
In this bed, I'm going to leave the leeks in today, and I can always plant another row of potatoes in a couple of weeks when we've used them. So I've got these Charlotte second earlies left. I planted 2 beds up with 9 potatoes in each, so 18 in total at the allotment, and I had these left, so I'm going to use these up at home. I'm thinking of doing some more. I've got some more main crop potatoes as well, so I'm thinking of doing those in some bags or some big pots. I'm going to see what I can find at the allotment, see if there's any big pots there I can use. do a bit of an experiment. I don't like wasting seeds and things, and it's worth a go. They'll just go to waste otherwise. So yeah, so I'll do that at the allotment. But in this bed, I'm just going to plant. I'm going to do 3 rows. And I'm going to do three in each. So I'm just going to do 3 rows like that, and I'll bury those. I've planted those potatoes, those 9 potatoes. I've still got 5 left, so I might save them to put in the rest of this bed in a week or so. I think I'll tell Anna's going to do the shopping list today, so I think I'm going to try and squeeze a leek and potato soup on the list, see if we can use some of these up. They're really nice leeks. They're done really well. So yeah, it'd be nice to use them. So that's all that's going to go in the beds today at home. Obviously got other things to do. Yeah, so I'm going to water these in. It's a bit cloudy, but I don't think it's going to rain that much, so I'll give them a good water. And also these have got that soil improver in, which is quite dry when I get it, although I think it does hold water okay. But yeah, it'd be nice to give them a good water in. I've had a look through my seeds, and I've got out a few more things I want to plant this sort of spring. So I wanted to plant a few more sweet corn seeds. I've got about 3/4 of what I need to fill the 2 beds, so I'm going to plant a few more to replace the ones that didn't come up. I'm going to do some spring onions. I'm probably going to do them in a longer sort of tub, just so they grow quite nicely in a little tub bit. I've got this butternut squash. It's the same variety that we had last year that did really well, so I'm going to get them started now. And pumpkins, our pumpkins didn't come up. I think 2 of them have come up, and it was the Bambino one on the right there, so I'm going to plant some more of those. I just want to make sure I've got a few, and I'm also going to plant this other variety as well. I'm going to plant some beans. We're going to do the 3 sisters again this year, so we'll have our sweet corn, beans and the pumpkins in the same bed. So I've got these climbing beans that can go up the sweet corn or up canes if they don't work. So I've got these two types. So I'll get them started now, ready to go in about the same time as the sweet corn. And then the last thing I've got is these wildflower collection. And I'm going to start these in these little trays. I've got about 3 of these trays, I think. So I'm going to do that, and then I can plant them out, some in pots at home, some of the cornflowers maybe, and the others I'm probably going to try and make a bed down the allotment at the back. So yeah, so I'm going to start them off in little trays, and then I can make a nice bed of them when they get going. I've planted another 8 of these sweet corn, so the same ones that I'd already planted. Yeah, so I've planted another 8 of those. I've got them in the propagator tray, so I'll pop the lid on, and I'll put them by the front door where it's nice and warm. I hope you enjoyed watching the allotment and the home stuff today. I've got more seeds to plant, so I'll do a few more of those today, maybe tomorrow, and over the week as I get time to do it. But yeah, see you next week, and hopefully we'll have some things starting to shoot in these pots, and I'll let you know how the courgettes are doing, whether they've survived the cold.